The long anticipated 2021 poster for the Disney Cars diecast mainline is finally here, and it does not disappoint. These upcoming releases look incredible. I think they're better than the releases we've already gotten, and they're way better than the 2021 mainline new releases, at least in my opinion. So in this video, as always with the poster reveals, we're going to break down all the new releases and the new re-releases and talk about, what's important to look out for, what's going on with these things, and also kind of talk about the surprises on this poster and the things that are supposed to be on the poster, at least we thought so, and they are not. So we're going to get into all that later, but first, want to give a shout out to Dino over at Cars the Toys Tapatalk Forum for releasing this poster. And you guys might be wondering, like, who the heck is that? Is he like some important Mattel official? How did he get the poster? I don't really know how he got it. He just gets stuff directly from Mattel. But what's weird is that Mattel doesn't release these things publicly. They don't promote them. It's really kind of stupid in my opinion. I hate to be harsh, but Mattel just, I don't know, they don't really engage much with the Cars line as they do with other lines like, Hot Wheels and Barbie and all that stuff. They could have easily posted this on their Twitter, made a little event out of it. And, in the past, they had a website for Cars that they would post these posters on along with like an interactive checklist. And obviously they don't do that anymore. So it's just kind of sad all around. But, whatever. Who really cares how the poster got here? It's legit. It's real. And we're going to dive right in. Now we're going to start with the Racing Reds just because they're the simplest to cover. We knew about these three already long ago. Dinoco, Cruz, Ramirez, Cars 1 Lightning McQueen, and Francesco Bernoulli. I have mentioned in many of my videos, these were the Racing Reds that you should expect for the rest of the year. And here they are, and I think they look really good. Cruz actually looks much better than I thought she would. I was a little disappointed that, she would be like my least favorite, but I really like her. I think the red looks good, and the silver logos are really neat. They're slick. Lightning McQueen, I'm a little upset about that. It appears they're using the Cars 3 model instead of the Cars 1 model, which is just kind of, it doesn't look right because we see Cars 1 paint job on Cars 3 McQueen body. Doesn't make much sense. That's an error on Mattel's part, and one can only hope that the error was only made on this poster and maybe the real diecast will be, the correct model, but I doubt it. This usually is like the final product. And then we have Francesco Bernoulli, who also looks really, really cool. Now, instead of going with silver, he has a lot of black to him, and it makes him look like the carbon version of Francesco, if you guys remember what that looks like. He does seem to have a new expression, though, as does McQueen. Cruz kind of does, so these are all really nice. I like them a lot, and I can't wait to get them. I think overall, it's a great way for Mattel to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Cars, even though some of these characters are not from Cars. They're from Cars 2 and Cars 3. And if I were in charge of Mattel, like if I were deciding this, I would have probably made like all 6 of the Racing Reds from Cars 1. Probably would have had McQueen, Mater, Sally. Maybe would have done like Ramone or Doc. No, it would definitely have been Doc. And then probably like the King and maybe like Daryl Cartrip. I think Daryl Cartrip would have actually been really sick as a Racing Red. So we're going to move off those and kind of divulge into some of these other new releases here. Now, Millie is probably like the biggest character out of all these just because she's the most notable. She actually had a speaking line in the movie, and she is like the janitor in the Rusty's Racing Center. Now, I knew she would come with that little vacuum. I think it looks great, but the fact that they're also including a cone is pretty neat. And what's even neater is that the cone is a new cone. It's got those white stripes on it, whereas every cone we've received in the past from Mattel, whether it be in the movie moments like series, with Charlie Checker and Marlon clutches McKay, remember those like accessory cars? And then we also got cones in some of the advent calendars, and they're all the same, like just plain orange rubber. This one looks like it's plastic and it has those stripes. So that's really cool that they're including that as well. I don't think anyone really would have batted an eye if they just included the vacuum. I think people would have been content with that, but Mattel went above and beyond there. They really have done a nice job with the pitties this year. which segues into the next release we're going to talk about, Rich Hurry. So he's the last band member to be released for Sweet Tea's band. He is the slide guitar player, and so you can see he's got that slide guitar, and he has a boom box, a little sound box, or whatever you want to call it, and it appears to be the exact same as the one that is included with Robert Jam Jones. And so that's cool with me. You know, he looks great. I like the mint green. Really like the look of him. A lot of people thought he would have like that 93 logo that we saw in his original stock image, but no, they are not doing that. I don't know why all of those stock images had like spearmint decals on it, but the real things will look much better, much more accurate to the movie. Now next, we have the Clutch Aid Racing Tractor. We knew this guy was coming. He's been revealed via Thailand leaks. Like some of the people who live in Thailand actually got this guy. I don't know how they get them, but you know, whatever, they leak from the factory. So we know about him for a while. And what's extremely like peculiar about him is that he's being released as a single and in a 2-pack with Rusty's Cruz Ramirez. I don't really like that. I don't like when cars are repeated like in the main line. This has happened before where Lightning McQueen gets released in like a single pack and then he gets released in a 2-pack. Like that happened in 2017. I think McQueen was released as a single and then in a 2-pack with Sally with Cone. I think it also happened like a couple years ago. Something like that happened. And I don't know why they're doing this. They could so easily just make a new tractor, bro. Make a new tractor and put a new tractor in that 2-pack. Or make a new tractor and use that as a single. You already have the blueprints for the tank coat tractor, the no-stall tractor, and the combustor tractor. We talk about this every single time. And Mattel just refuses to give us those. And it's honestly very demoralizing. But whatever. Shouldn't be hard to find. Everybody should have a Clutch A tractor. For those who want one, they should be getting one because they're making pretty much double of them now. Not quite double, but you know, 2 releases better than 1. Now, let's get to the things that are a little bit more exciting in my opinion. Like the waters are getting hot right now. So Kris Revstopski's got a new flag. Actually, this one's not very exciting, but it's a surprise. You know, I really didn't think Mattel would do this. A lot of my friends were like, hey, I really hope she has a new flag, right? And I'm like, no way. There's no way they're going to give her a new flag. First of all, she didn't even have this flag in the movie. I don't believe. Like, literally, she's never shown with a yellow flag. But I will take it, though. Like, that's pretty neat that they're doing that. So I'm delighted Mattel changed her up a little bit. Good on them. Hot Rod Steve Hearsell over here, another variant. So this is just a weird release overall. You know, he didn't appear in the movie, didn't appear in the post-credit scene. And yet, you know, we have this hearse with purple flames on it. So, yeah, it's cool, I guess. Like, it's kind of an oxymoron. Like, since when do, you know, hearses look like that? I don't really know. It's kind of peculiar to me that they even would fathom this release. Like, it's one of the most random things I've seen Mattel ever do. A non-canon car that just makes no sense. Like, if you do a hot rod, I don't know, Corey Turbowitz. That I feel is more acceptable than this. It's just so out of left field. But whatever. Cool. Lots of people like Steve. I like Steve. And maybe this will make his original release a little less popular, a little less valuable. Because you probably could just like, you know, use nail polish remover to get rid of the flames. And then bam, you have a regular Steve Hearsell. Moving on now to the missing next gens. These are the last 2 next gens that everyone expects Mattel to release. But I do have faith that Mattel will release JP Drive at some point in the future, which is the Apple next gen. Like, Mattel wants to get in on the action. Like, trust me, like, Mattel wants to release the heck out of JP. And they want to capitalize on that opportunity. The Disney Store and Tomica did their versions years ago. Mattel wants to get in on this. Like, trust me, they are upset that they're missing out right now. But either way, Nick Shift is the Spearmint Racer. We knew that. He's coming in the next case, Case H. Jim Reverick, the Next Gen Carbon Cyber, is coming in a little bit later case probably. And what's really cool is that Bobby Road Testa was like, I'm pretty sure he was like the second to last or the last stock car from Cars 3 to be released. Either it was him or Carl Clutchen. And so now Carbon Cyber is following suit in a similar way, being the last next gen to be released, or at least, you know, we think so, because Apple, I really think that Mattel wants to do that. So anywho, those look great. I really like the look of Jim Reverick. He looks pretty upset though. He looks ticked off. Nick Shift looks cool. I like that shade of blue. I like his blue rims. I'm super excited to complete the next gen fleet, that's for sure. Now we're going to jump over to the next two racing legends, or there's three of them, one of which we already know about, or we already knew what he looked like, Jimmy Lugwrench. So super cool that Mattel is releasing like a basically all white car, even though I think he's inaccurate. I think the like top portion of him, like his roof, is supposed to be a different color. Either way though, I like it. He looks cool. There are a couple pictures of him that were unveiled through an Amazon listing. So we did already know what he looked like. Now for Dewey Conerod and Clovis Rider, kind of weird names. Like through Walmart listings and whatnot, we were able to decipher, you know, we knew that these cars were coming, but they were called Dewey Cone and Clovis Rid. Like completely different names on like the original like Walmart listings that were made many months ago that were found by lots of investigative people. And so now they added on to those last names, and I'm not really a big fan of them. I think Clovis Rid's kind of cool. It doesn't really make sense, but it sounds cool. Dewey Cone would have been perfect. I don't know why you have to add on the rod. Like, what's a cone rod? I don't know. Dewey Cone Rod. Okay, cool. Dewey Cone looks pretty nice. He's got like a metallic blue. He's pretty much the same color as the Next Gen Experiment, Nick Shift. But yeah, he looks nice. He's accurate to the movie, and so is Clovis Rider, the black and yellow one, who's actually, you know, he appears to be a new model, whereas Dewey looks to be like Slim Hood's model. So cool stuff. These guys all look great. I love the black and yellow. It's a cool paint scheme, something you don't really see that much, and I'm just looking forward to, you know, diving into their specific decals because they all have very unique and fun little tidbits on their sides. They're like, you know, I could already tell that one of them has, let's see if I can zoom in here on Dewey Cone. I'm on my computer, so I can do that. Bricky's Driving sounds cool. Oh, Conerod Auto One Car Club. So yeah, lots of cool stuff on here. And on Clovis it says Juanita's Carbecue, Larry's Auto Parts. Interesting. Yeah, I'm excited for him for sure. No doubt about that. Now, we're going to move on to, who do we want to go to? Okay, Mummy, Luigi, and Guido, or Mummy, Luigi, and Ghost Guido, rather. Now, this is, again, a very random release, but it kind of makes sense that Mattel, you know, they've been doing a lot of holiday releases lately. They had, you know, some Christmas ones, they had some Easter ones, and so now, for the first time ever, Mattel is doing some Halloween stuff. And I announced this on my Docket Cast a while ago. We knew these guys were coming. And, you know, hopefully you guys put some credit in me. Like, I announced this on Docket Cast, you know. We knew it was coming. And they look really cool, even though it looks like Luigi's is very stringy. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really look like toilet paper. I don't know. He looks cool. Ghost Guido, though, is my favorite. I like how his eyes are peeping out there. And these have, like, I don't know. It's not the first time we've seen, like, this idea of Ghost Guido and Mummy Luigi. Like, they were available through some, like, Halloween art for, like, Cars Land or something. So it's not the first time we've ever seen, like, Luigi in a mummy costume. So I'll put that picture on the screen there. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about is that it's just weird that this is the only Halloween release they're doing right now. Who knows, they might do like one in the first case of 2021, but I kind of doubt that because by that point it'll be too late for Halloween. But I would have loved to seen like the Devil McQueen that's kind of in the same, cut from the same cloth as Mummy Luigi and Ghost Guido. And there's also like a Frankenstein Mater. Either one of those would have been cool, but, you know, this is a start. It's a good start. Now, on to the best cars on this poster, in my opinion. These are just unexpectedly great. So excited for these. I'm so grateful to Mattel for doing these. Now, we knew Sara Wheelson would be coming, and we knew that a Tom Piston Porter would be coming. Now, this is one of the reasons why I said like a car wasn't on the poster that we thought was coming. Tom Piston Porter was supposed to be released. Like that was a name from a Walmart listing that we got. Okay. He's not on that poster, but we do have this Derek Williams who we never had like anything for. We didn't know of a Walmart listing or an Amazon listing or whatever. Like this guy, his name was first ever released on this poster. So we think that Derek Williams like replaced Tom Piston Porter in some way, shape, or form. But we knew Sara Wheelson would likely be a Cars 3 reporter, right? No, we're wrong. Like we were totally wrong, but in the best way possible. These are actually Cars 1 reporters from the missing McQueen in Radiator Springs scene. Like when everybody just bamboozles Radiator Springs once they finally find Lightning McQueen. And these two are directly from that scene. And I am so happy that Mattel is giving some attention to Cars 1 for once. This entire year has been pretty much just Cars 3 releases, Cars 3 releases, Cars 3 releases, you know. And Mattel's going back to the roots of Cars 1. That, I mean, honestly, these are more anniversary-esque than the Racing Reds because you're celebrating the first movie by releasing some new characters from it. Derek is my favorite car on this poster because he's this new model we've never gotten before. The other one looks like Skip Richter or somebody like that. Derek is incredible. Absolutely love that like kind of thick muscle car model. Love the expression. So happy Mattel is doing this. Like literally almost brought a tear to my eye to see some new characters from the first movie 15 years ago. Wow. I'm really, really impressed. I'm really happy because I'm pretty sure every single release we've gotten so far this year that's been new has been from Cars 3, or it's been like, you know, Lightning McQueen with Easter buggy ears, right? So I'm delighted about this, and I hope you guys appreciate, you know, how monumental this is because Mattel used to do quite a few Cars 1 releases even when the second movie was out. Like in 2016, you know, you got like Darla Vanderson, Brad Windmiller, all those guys, right? But now, after Cars 3, it's been pretty much straight Cars 3 stuff. And I'm just really, really excited. Like Mattel, good. You got me. You got me, Mattel. So anyways, I'm kind of wasting so much time on these guys. I'm sorry about that. Let me briefly go over some of these other re-releases, though, that we can look forward to. Chisaki, you know, obviously one of the clan from Suki and Hiroki. Not Hiroki, Harumi. Hiroki's somebody else. Marlon clutches McKay. He's a pretty standard release. He gets released a lot these days. And it's not his first time from Thailand, so that's not really anything exciting. And same thing with Antonio Veloce, Eccelente. Now, Rusty Cornfuel, the Towcat racer, will be in Case H. We know that. So he'll be out soon. He looks like he has a new expression, so that's pretty exciting. Sterling will be released again. No one really cares about that one. Hydraulic Ramone, meh. He's been released from Thailand before too, so I don't think anybody really is going to throw a party about him. And then Ron Hover. It's kind of cool. Kind of nice. Doc Hudson and Sheriff are also new to the 2021 packaging. And then that'll do it, guys. Obviously, if we take a deep dive down to the 2-packs here, all of these have been released so far, except for that one that I mentioned. And then a couple of these other ones here that are pretty boring. Okuni and Shigeko, Sweet Tea and Guido. Obviously, Sweet Tea and Guido, we already got that same exact 2-pack a couple years ago. But it's nice, though, because now all of the band members were released in the same year. Okuni and Shigeko were released a ton from like 2014 to 2017, so they're not anything special, but I guess it's kind of interesting to see some more Cars 2 stuff in the mix. And then as for deluxes, again, all of these have been released so far, except for Mater with Cone Teeth and Rotor Turboski. I think Miss Fritter's been released, right? But anywho, they're all re-releases. But what's missing from this poster is Elvis RV. We have found evidence that Elvis would be released this year through like a Walmart listing, right? And he's not on this poster. So it appears that he's been canceled, or maybe Mattel just forgot to put him on this poster. What if they just didn't put him on the poster, because then it would be an odd number of releases, and so then the poster just wouldn't look right? Like, wouldn't that be so funny? Because you have this deluxe space here, it's 2x6 or whatever, and then you would have one extra for the 13th. Maybe it's like supposed to be a mystery release, like the 13th deluxe. Who will it be? I don't know. I think there's still, a solid chance he gets released. Mattel makes mistakes. They forget stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just simply forgot to put him on the poster. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed my breakdown of the 2021 full poster now, that obviously also includes all the stuff that's been released so far. So this serves, not only as like a fall summer poster, but just kind of an all-encompassing poster too. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below, out of all the new releases, which one is your favorite? There's gonna be a ton of people. Like the split's going to be massive. There's gonna be people saying Jim Reverick or Nick Shift. There are going to be people saying one of the racing legends. There's going to be people say like Mummy Luigi and Ghost Guido, like maybe a racing red, maybe one of the pitties, maybe a tractor. Like, honestly, so many cool cars that are very different. So let me know, guys. I'm really curious to see, what actually is the general consensus for a favorite, like which one gets voted the most. For me, it's Derek, just because Cars won and he's a new model. He looks really cool. Very excited, very nostalgic for me personally. But yeah, guys, I will see you next time for another video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.